Thank you, General. So on the U.S. assistance to Israel, can you update us on how many shipments you have delivered and the price tag of these shipments so far?
I cannot. I don't have that information in front of me. As you know, we continue to provide assistance to Israel pretty much on a daily basis, and we'll continue to stay focused on communicating them as far as what their needs are. In the future, if we have that information and we're able to provide it, we certainly will. But as of right now, I don't have that.
So is there, I mean, is it an issue of collecting how much you sent, or is it something else? Because in the case of Ukraine, whenever there's a new package of assistance, the Pentagon announces what's in it and the price tag. So this is being offered in the name of American taxpayers and American people.
Yeah, no,
Why
very,
would we
yeah.
been able to know what's been offered so far?
Again, I don't have that information in front of me. As appropriate, we'll provide it. Certainly, right now, there's an element of operations security. And the mechanisms by which we're providing assistance to Israel from a policy and a legal standpoint are a little bit different, and from a budgetary standpoint are a little bit different than the way we're providing aid to Ukraine. And so, you know, again, we will make sure that we're as transparent as possible while also recognizing that there are operation security aspects to this. But like I said, if at an appropriate point in time we have that information to provide and we're able to, we will.
So, so you'll try to offer the information when, if
yeah, but I mean, we've been very clear in terms of the kinds of capabilities we're providing, in terms of the types of munitions, medical support, air defense support, and those kinds of things.
If I may, the IDF spokesperson on CNN with Wolf Blitzer minutes ago acknowledged that Israel targeted Jabalia refugee camp, where scores of civilians have been killed. The IDF spokesperson said, "This is the tragedy of war. We've been saying for days, move south." Your own department is saying there are no restrictions on Israel how to use weapons provided by the U.S. The secretary today, in his tweet about his phone call with Mr. Gallant, said he reemphasized the safety of civilians. Wouldn't the idea of putting some restrictions on how Israel used the weapon actually achieve the target of making sure civilians aren't being killed the way we're seeing? I mean, the UNRWA is saying, and this is a quote, "Gaza has become a graveyard for thousands of children."
Yeah, thanks, Fadi. So I can't speak to individual Israeli strikes. I've seen the press reports on that. I don't have any information on that. You heard Secretary Austin say today that taking civilian safety into account is both a moral and a strategic obligation. And we do care about civilian casualties, and we've made it both clear publicly and privately about our concern for the protection of innocent life and the respect for the law of war, and that's not going to change. But I also think it's important to not forget about the common denominator here, which is Hamas, which is a terrorist organization that has taken a page out of the ISIS playbook in terms of brutality and wanton disregard for civility and for human rights. And not only did they commit a horrific slaughter of Israeli civilians and take more than 200 hostages to use as bargaining chips, but they've willfully and deliberately integrated their operations, their command and control nodes, armories, rockets targeting Israel among the innocent Gazan population, thus in effect employing them as human shields. And so it's Hamas using Palestinians as human shields that is creating this extra challenge for Israel as they conduct their operations. And we're going to, of course, continue to talk to our Israeli partners about the importance of taking civilian safety into account as they conduct their operations. But we also recognize that they have a responsibility and a duty to their citizens to protect their citizens from future Hamas attacks. And we're going to continue to support them in that effort. And as you heard Secretary Austin and Secretary Blinken talk about today, the U.S. government is also going to continue to work very closely with other partners as well as vetted NGOs to deliver humanitarian aid to Gaza, to the Palestinians, because, again, no one wants to see innocent people suffering, whether they be Palestinian or Israeli. Thank you.